Ravens Nation, I need to know how each and every one of you are feeling after this nail-biting win in a game that should have never been close with the Dallas Cowboys. The Ravens end up winning the game 28-25 when they entered the fourth quarter up 28-6. It was the most stereotypical Ravens fourth quarter we have come to know and love these last many years. So I want to know what each and every one of you are thinking. But before I get into this quick breakdown, welcome to the channel. If you're a Ravens fan, all we do is talk Ravens football here. We're trying to hit 2,000 subscribers by the end of the season. So if you would help me do that by subscribing, liking the video, I genuinely appreciate it. So obviously coming into this game 0-2, me and every other Ravens fan knew the importance of winning this game. And through the first three quarters of the game, the Ravens looked like it was like a throwback, stereotypical Ravens smash mouth, dominating physical performance. And unfortunately for the Ravens, you have to play four quarters in football, which seems to be a major problem for this team and has been for several seasons. I don't know what happens between the break, between the third and the fourth quarter. I don't know. Do they forget how to play football? Do the coaches forget how to coach? Do they forget how to call plays? Somebody help me out, because it was a win and I should feel really good about it, but I walked away feeling like there was a lot to be desired. And this may be an unpopular opinion because they did win the game, and I'm glad they did. They're 1-2 now as opposed to 0-3. They have something to hang their hat on going forward. But this didn't feel like a good win to me. And you may be wondering, like, what on earth are you talking about? They got their first win of the season on the road, tough environment, yada, yada, yada. And you might even be saying they didn't choke the lead like they had in so many cases. My counter argument to that is if they weren't winning by 3 touchdowns, they would have lost this game. This game absolutely, positively should have never, ever been this close. And I credit the Cowboys in their players for sticking in it and fighting to the end, because it would have been so easy entering the fourth quarter to throw your hat and be done with it, because you're down by 3 touchdowns, quarter to go. You've really been dominated in every facet of the game up to that point. But they didn't, so you have to give them credit for that, and I do. But again, I can't just look at this, like I said in many, many videos at this point, and say, well, the Cowboys just made the plays. They just battled back, when the Ravens continually crapped down their leg in the fourth quarter. I don't know. The first 3 quarters of the game, it was everything we've been wanting. Derrick Henry was getting the ball. They were just dominating in the trenches, and it was like, this is what we've been wanting. This is what we've been saying. This is what this team needs to do. This should be their identity. And then the fourth quarter comes, and they didn't go away from Derrick Henry, but then all of a sudden, it's like I said a week ago with the Raiders game. It's always a domino effect with the Ravens. Everything could be going their way, and one thing tips it off, and it's like the dominoes just fall for this team. Last week, it was a Rashad Bateman tip pass that right off his hands that got intercepted that changed the game. This week, it was a missed field goal from Justin Tucker, who I am becoming more and more increasingly concerned about as we get a few games into the season. He's missing kicks that have been routine for him, and I'm really getting concerned. Is this just a rough patch for him, or is this going to be a continual problem? Because the Ravens need a kicker. They need a guy who they can rely on from 46 yards. And Justin Tucker's always been automatic from there. So I'm hoping he can kick his way out of it, but it's becoming more and more concerning as we go, and he continues to miss these kicks that have always been kind of routine for him. But that was what started this whole disaster of a fourth quarter. What would have made it 31-6. 31-6 in the fourth quarter. He missed the field goal, so it stayed 28-6. And then they gave the Cowboys momentum, go down the field, score, miss the 2-point, 28-12. And in true Ravens fashion, Zay Flowers whiffs on the onside kick, and the Cowboys recover it. I don't think I was alone. Me and probably every other Ravens fan said, here we go again. Here we go again. Stop me if you've heard this. The Cowboys go down and score again. And then, of course, the Ravens go, and I believe it was a 3-and-out. That's when Lamar missed a bad a bad throw to Mark Andrews that would have been a first down. He missed him high. Cowboys get the ball back and, of course, drive right down the field. Like, I have to ask, did the defense just stop playing in the fourth quarter? Was it like was it a player issue? Was it a play calling issue from Zach Orr? Was it like what was the issue with the defense in the fourth quarter? Because they dominated the first 3 quarters of the game. In the fourth quarter, it's like, okay, well, now let's just let them get all the way down the field. The majority of their yards came in the fourth quarter. Dak Prescott threw, I believe he was under 200 passing yards in the fourth quarter. And they finished with 361 passing yards. So basically, they almost doubled their passing yards from the first 3 quarters to the fourth quarter. What on earth happened between the third and fourth quarter? That's the question we all need to be asking. And it's a game that I walk away that I should feel good about, and we should feel good about as fans. But you walk away with a feeling of way more questions than answers with this team. I don't know. The trend continues. That's about all I can say about it. They won the game, which is I'm thrilled about. But again, it does not instill a lot of confidence in me, and I'm assuming many other Ravens fans. But I want to know what you guys think. How did you feel about this win? Were you encouraged that they didn't lose the game and they didn't completely blow the fourth quarter lead? Or were you like me, where you walked away with feeling with a lot to be desired because they did have a 3-touchdown lead entering the fourth quarter and they won by a field goal? It's like they were just hanging on by a little pinky finger and barely made it to the end. Again, it feels like it has to be a coaching issue, and I can't even point to one specific thing. But for this to continue happening, I don't see how this is a player issue at this point. But again, I want to know what you guys think. The Ravens win. Happy about that, thrilled about that, but there's just some concerning trends. And of course, I haven't even talked about the 100 penalty yards yet again. But we'll get into that in another video, guys. But I do appreciate you tuning in. If you're still watching, definitely like, subscribe. All we do is talk Ravens football here. Definitely let me know what your thoughts are about this game in the comments. Are you encouraged, discouraged? What were your biggest takeaways? Let me know in the comments, and I will see you all tomorrow as we break down this game more and more. I appreciate you tuning in. I'll see you all in the next one. Go Ravens.